I've been waiting for this video for a hot minute, y'all. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Sue. Yes, we're back with another video, y'all. Naruto versus Boruto, who will win that fight? Now, we're using, judging by the thumbnail, we're using Nine-Tailed Fox, One-Tailed Naruto versus Boroshiki. That's what we do, bro. He's going to. This is not a fight. This is not a fight. Why is this a comparison? One is an Otsutsuki who could absorb chakra and pretty much anything. Naruto at this time legit only has 2 moves. 2. He only has Rasengan and Shadow Clone Jutsu, bro. That is not enough. Boroshiki, if Boroshiki took control over Boruto, it's a wrap. The fight is not even a fight, it's a slaughter. And he's gonna absorb Kuruma, bro. He's gonna take Kuruma from Naruto. How is this a fight? Seth, how did you make a 22-minute video and you know the answer already? You know the answer. You know the answer. I don't know why you even did this. But we're here, so enough talking for me. We want to see what Seth thinks. If you're new to the channel, you like content like this, make sure to subscribe and smash that like button for your boy. Let's check it out.
Hello everyone, it's your host at the
fuck, why did it lag like that?
Hello everyone, it's your host at the program. With me today, I have my good old friend Six. And by the way, did you know if you haven't subscribed to him, you actually should? He actually makes some great Naruto content, some of the best I've ever seen. Maybe not as good as mine, but you know, it's pretty decent. So if you haven't already, and you want to see more consistent Naruto, Boruto stuff, I would head over to his channel. I don't always upload Naruto, Boruto stuff, even though I upload a lot, but he always does, so.
Yeah, Six always uploads a ton of Naruto, Boruto stuff. He does. You
can look forward to that. Other than that, though, today's video will be on Naruto versus Boruto.
Bro, I'm talking about current Boruto, not like early Boruto. This is still early Boruto, but like, I'm thinking, my thoughts is, okay, in the valley, Kid Naruto, One-Tail, Kuruma Chakra versus Boroshiki possessed. You know what I'm talking about.
So, this is actually a topic that has been requested for a long time. The last time I talked about it was, what, in 2017? And yeah, I think Swag Kage and I were just like, well, Naruto would summon Giant Frog and it would stomp on him or something. So,
I don't know. I mean, Boruto, 80% Otsutsuki, got stomped on, and then he nearly spirit bombed that nigga to death. So, you know, I don't know, bro. Like, what's his name? Kabuta? I don't remember the frog's name, but Boruto out here throwing ki blasts in that state. I don't know about all of that. Nah. No. No.
That might not be the case anymore.
Hold on. Whoa.
Changed a lot since
he was taller than Kid Naruto. Oh, he's gonna be taller than his
we made that video.
He's about the same height as Naruto.
Basically, back then,
I did not realize his headband gotten short, like the back gotten shorter as he got older. I thought it was still.
Boruto fans may agree that, yeah, maybe Boruto is somewhat overpowered now. So hopefully we can actually have a conversation about it. And without further ado, why don't you just start us off?
So with Momoshiki, right? This difference between both anime and manga.
This nigga alone was slaughtered, would kill Kid Naruto. What the f? You have to get Naruto when he's young, because when he's an adult, it's a wrap.
I mean, they're separate continuities. The author sort of describes it like what's going on with Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, but they're both still canon.
Yeah, they're both still canon.
Like, that's my thing, though. Like, how's it still canon when, like, 2 different things happen, right? Like the whole Oroshiki thing, that's not it's canon, but, like, it didn't happen in a manga. So it's like, well, so we got 2 different canons. Like, he was there technically, but he wasn't in the original, you know, manuscript. But he was just in the anime, but he wasn't in the manga. Like, it's so weird how that works.
Yeah, they just go separate routes, if you will. So in the manga, Momoshiki is weakened in his encounter with Boruto. We all know that. Momoshiki eat these chakra pills that he gets from B. And he actually takes the maximum amount of chakra that he can from B, at least without killing him, right? So he takes 5, and he says that these pills are just pure power, right? Like, that's sort of the whole idea with Momoshiki versus Naruto. Momoshiki's a cheater. He likes to get his power through pills and things like that. Naruto's sort of like the hardworking guy. He doesn't believe what Momoshiki's doing is true power. Tails level threat.
In the anime, this is somewhat diluted because obviously in the anime.
Wait, hold on. Wait, no. Wait. So you're telling me Boruto, right? Like that Boruto right there is above pain. Is what you're trying to tell me. Like you're trying to tell me that Boruto is above pain. That's nuts. Wow, I don't know why, but I just can't believe that he's like that. Naruto is above an 8-tailed cat. Hold on, let me see.
In like the first arc of the show is like an above 8 tails level threat.
In the anime, this is somewhat diluted because obviously in the anime he has more of his Jogan Super Otsutsuki Eye ability, which kind of makes things a little bit more confusing. But in the manga, he actually just doesn't use that. So
yeah, just
it's a little bit more confusing. Now, one thing I will say about these chakra pills that Momoshiki eats is that it's very confusing. So, for one, we have Momoshiki, he gets shot by an 8-tails Bijou bomb. And he's like, you know what, why don't I just direct it with twice the force back at you? This is in the anime from what I remember. But why don't I just direct it back at you twice the force? And then blast the 8-tails on some like Mewtwo from the first Pokemon movie. He's using like Reflect and just bounces it back at him and basically kills him. And then Momoshiki absorbs his energy, and he's like, is that it? Only 5 pills? I guess he was trash, and then gets the pill, puts the pills in his space pocket or wherever he put them. We don't know. But it's weird because he felt the 8-tails blast him with this Bijou bomb. He directs it back, and he's like, that's all he gave me. And then for what we learn is that the 8-tails and Killer Bee may have given Momoshiki the slip entirely, which is why he only got 5 pills out of it. Something that also somewhat backs this up is that one-tailed Naruto in the anime, at least in the time travel arc, Urashiki is trying to extract the 9-tails from him, and he throws a fishing rod into his aura, and it basically just bounces off. But even that, it's enough to get 1 pill out of him. So are you telling me that little fart of chakra he ripped off from one-tailed Kid Naruto is 1/5 of Killer Bee and the 8-tails put together in Boruto? Probably a bit unlikely.
This is why I say the scaling is so weird and confusing, bro. Like, they're not consistent. No show is consistent with their power levels, bro. Their scaling at all. Like, it be throwing me off. And it's so damn confusing. So you just gotta, like, take it with a grain of salt. Somebody's gonna be like, oh, Seth said that one-tails Naruto could beat Killer Bee. Could probably beat Killer Bee in Boruto. Somebody's gonna sit there and say that.
But if you do say he's above 8-tails level when Boruto is giving him the hands, then, I mean, we don't need to discuss any further. You know, Naruto just gets absolutely curb stomped. But that's an alternative interpretation. However, the anime actually gets even crazier with the scaling entirely, in which, in the anime, there is a arc where the Tsuchikage is basically having to fight against a group called KAGUYA, where Inoki made these Otsutsuki-slaying super clones of himself.
Literally clones to fight KAGUYA level threats.
Yes.
He made these clones for.
Yeah.
So Kurosuchi runs into one of them, right? Or not one of them. He runs into the main one, the big guy, KAGUYA. They're in the village, and she uses like Nin Taijutsu Rock Fist to try to combat him, and he's just clapping. No,
he blocks it without. Dude, he blocks it without flinching.
Yeah,
like how
the
absurd is that?
The sword doesn't even move. Like the shit she hit Kinshiki with, where she like punched him and he like flew through the god tree and like bounced around till Sasuke hit him. He just no-sells it. He doesn't even flinch.
I wouldn't even know what to describe that as. Like, so if he was meant for Kaguya level threats, that means that he himself could probably, you know, wash Kaguya. Technically speaking, if we're doing that, I don't know. That's.
And what's crazy about this, you know, a lot of people would be like, "Oh, well, Kinshiki was off guard; he's getting jumped." But dude, Kinshiki watched her pull up in front of him. There's a few seconds while she winds up a punch, and then he gets hit, and then he gets launched away. And then while he gets hit by Chojiro's like needle technique, I forgot the exact name. He gets hit by Chojiro's technique, and then he's like, "Ah, that hurts." But you know, he doesn't scream in pain until Kurotsuchi starts hitting him with her sublime lime jutsu, like the ceiling jutsu. Then he starts groaning in pain from her jutsu and wrapping around him. By the way, Chojiro is complete garbage in this anime, but we'll get into that in a minute. But basically, Kurotsuchi's lime jutsu or whatever is able to suppress him and make him groan in pain. Yet here's that same girl throwing probably a stronger attack at Ku, and you know, not only is it probably a stronger attack, but this is post Kinshiki, and it's implied all of the Kage are like on guard, training, trying to be ready for Otsutsuki threats. So if anything,
training, like we haven't seen none of these niggas train at all. What you mean training? When did this man? He don't even train. Where did they train? They probably train off camera. It had to, because I don't see none of. They don't train anymore, bro. Like, just let's keep it aside. They made them stronger just for the sake, slightly, but they all got fatherized by when Ishiki got here. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying.
She might be stronger than ever before, using a stronger technique, and Ku just tanks it, and then here's Team 7 bullying him.
Bodying Ku. So
So we're gonna sit there and say that, oh, Boruto, Team 7 can probably. So you know, that's what's weird about the scaling, bro. Like, it's so confusing too. It's like, all right, so Ku was supposed to be like at least what Kaguya, or like can take out Kaguya level threats. That's what it was said in the video by 6 and Seth, right? Cool. Team 7 then goes ahead and bullies a Kaguya level threat. I don't understand what's going on. So are we going to sit there and say, oh, well, Boruto Team 7 can probably beat Kaguya, where Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura struggle? So technically speaking, this Team 7 can probably bully Sage 6 Paths Naruto and Renee Sharingan Sasuke and, you know, Thousand Hills Chakra. That's what we're saying now. That's crazy. That doesn't even make sense.
Literally bullying him.
There is like a few counter arguments I've heard where people are like, oh, well, maybe Kurotsuchi's not trying on Ku because they're like in the middle of the village or whatever. I find this somewhat unlikely, considering the people she's talking to, they literally are a threat to the village, and she uses a stronger method of force than what she used on an Otsutsuki outside of the
right,
village,
exactly.
Inside. So I don't think that's.
So if she did, like, shouldn't like the environment be fucked up too? She used a stronger attack. I mean, yeah, we could clearly see that she used a stronger attack, but I'm just saying that, like, shouldn't the environment like have been affected as well, or we're not, you know, doing that? But like, I feel like because he's stronger than her, it's like he nullified the force, right?
It's a valid counter argument.
Yeah. The other weird one, too, is obviously you have Chojiro fighting, like, the 7 new swordsmen or whatever, and they're able to actually damage him with threads or something while he doesn't have his sword. Sure, he's at 50% power, but then you have pretty much a really garbage tier Team 7 and Sarada kind of fighting these 7 swordsmen. Kind of sharp is that, from what I remember, a lot of Jonin are actually sent to the Sand Village to come and help it, and these Jonin are taken out by Ku's underlings. Yet Boruto and gang are able to handle it, implying that Boruto and gang are above the Jonin who went.
So are we gonna say that, oh, Boruto, Sarada, before she became a Chunin, and Mitsuki are all above Jonin levels? Or are we gonna sit there and say that they're now relative to Kage? Like, are we saying that? Like, what's going on? I can't believe, some of the arguments, they don't even make sense, bro.
Now, you can say this is, inconsistent or whatever, but I'm gonna be real with you, I just think it's the writers of these fillers don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not making sense.
They don't know what they're on about, but that regardless, it's something, in the anime, it happened. You know what I mean? It's just something that happened. And what gets even worse is we get a literal time travel arc, and that's what makes this video even more relevant than ever before.
It makes it easier, too.
We see Boruto next to Part 1 Kid Naruto, and it's not any Part 1 Kid Naruto, it's Part 1 Naruto, but he's stronger than any iteration of him in the manga because this is post-Sasuke retrieval.
So this is like when they got... Wait, what post-Sasuke retrieval? So like after they got Sasuke? No, that can't be because Sasuke's not in the village at this point. Naruto's like 13 right here. They're about the same age right here. Right? So it can't be... Post means before, right? Post? I can't remember.
Yeah. So this is him stronger than we've ever seen him.
But that would imply that he has to be... like, after Sasuke left to go to Orochimaru, it has to be that Naruto. It can't be anything but else before that. And he was giving problems to Urashiki, so it's like, what's going on?
This Naruto arguably has better chakra control than even like Naruto later in the series, like the Sage mode, right? So
I don't understand is that canon? That's not canon though. Well, anime. This is so weird.
Well, that might sound wild. I know. I'll explain though.
It's another 7 theory.
When Naruto enters this like one-tailed Kyuubi form, he's able to form Rasengan without using 2 hands. He can actually do it using 1 hand.
Yeah.
But then in the war arc with KCM, Naruto still says to B that he can't form Rasengan using 1 hand. He still needs shadow clones. So that's just a way to say like this Naruto just has like...
I'm gonna have to kind of disagree because in the anime, my man was out here just forming Rasengans without shadow clones at all. Like he was just group bow, had it in his hand, group like that. Come on, like when he went against Sasuke, they final clash, he just said boom, and it just appeared in his hand. Feel me? He didn't need a shadow clone for that.
Supreme chakra control. And
it also might be because of Boruto. It might also be because of Boruto helping him out and helping him calm down. And honestly, that whole time travel arc, in my personal opinion, it should have been more of a movie or something, like some kind of canon movie. But it's in the anime. Now, something interesting is that a lot of people seem to think that the time travel arc is not canon. So,
I mean, that's what people say. If it ain't happening in the manga, it's not canon. Oh, too bad it didn't happen in the manga, it's not canon. That's literally what everybody says. What's a great example of that? Gohan versus Kefla in the Tournament of Power. It ain't happening. It happened in the manga, but the episodes when Goku fought Kefla came out before the manga. So they're both canon. It both happened. I don't know when they happened, but it both happened. So
take that as you will. I don't know where the evidence for that is from, but if it is, that's great. But if it is canon and it's valid for this discussion, we kind of have a lot to talk about because we get introduced to Urashiki, and Urashiki in basically everything that talks about him, any extra material that talks about him, it says that he is revered being honored, praised, or respected as the strongest of his clan being the Otsutsuki clan.
Well, we clearly know that is cap. It says that Kakashi in the data books is omnipotent. It says that Tamari in the data books could blow away the universe. We all know that is cap, so clearly he's not revered as the strongest. That is cap. There's no evidence that suggests that he is that. Because Ishiki's there. How is he the strongest when Ishiki's right there? How is he the strongest? And then he proceeds to get clapped up by Jiraiya, Kid, Naruto, and Boruto? Can't be. We all know that is cap. I hate when you try to use the data books, bro. Cap. No evidence. Oh, it said it in the data books. It says a lot of stuff in the data books. Doesn't mean that it's true.
Plan. And it might actually be consistent when you figure out that he might actually have better feats than base Kinshiki and base Momoshiki, because from what we know, base Kinshiki and Momoshiki, they're struggling with the Kage or whatever. They struggle with 2-on-1s. For instance, you have Darui and Gaara. They're kind of giving base Momoshiki a hard time, and Kinshikis just getting kind of bullied around. But Urashiki faces against Sasuke, who just came from another dimension. He just transported out with his Renegon materials. That Sasuke and Gaara cannot defeat Urashiki at all.
Urashiki's fought Gaara twice. Both times Gaara's had a teammate. First time it was Chojuro. Second time it was Sasuke. He's gotten away from Gaara both times. So, I mean, it's a pretty consistent thing for Urashiki to be over Gaara at least.
Yes. And what's even crazier is that it's implied that Boruto and Shinji stand a chance against Urashiki.
That doesn't make no sense. That doesn't make any type of sense. This doesn't add up. How the fuck Gaara and Sasuke, who are both stronger than Shinji and Boruto, struggle against Urashiki, but Boruto and Shinji doesn't struggle against Urashiki? What the isn't Urashiki stronger than Momoshiki, Kinshiki, and Kaguya? So if he's stronger than those three, so you're telling me Boruto, right? This Boruto from episode 125 could go back in time and fight Kaguya and slap her. That's ridiculous. That doesn't even make sense.
When Gaara and Sasuke didn't. So, it's like, now for Sasuke, you can say, oh, well, Sasuke's, suppressed or whatever, but Gaara, he's at full power, and he's taken punches from Fusion Momoshiki in both the manga and the anime, and yet Boruto and, his friend are taking down Urashiki, and then in the time skip, or the time travel arc, they go back in time, and Urashiki he gets stronger. He uses his Renegon powers. He gets his Tomo Renegon, and then he gets a blue Renegon on top of that. Now, you might be able to argue that Jiraiya poisoned him at certain points, but even then, you have situations where Urashiki is clearly taking Kirin from Sasuke, okay? Or avoiding Amaterasu on Sasuke's sword. Do you think that Part 1 Naruto could ever take on an opponent that could take Kirin? Well, apparently in this time travel arc, he can.
I feel like this is an alternate timeline where somehow the same situations occurred, but everybody's stronger. It has to be that, bro. Because ain't no way. Part 1 Naruto, from what I remember, is cannot. Part 1 Naruto cannot. Could never. Cannot. What are we doing? What is this? What is all of this? What is all of this? What is all of this, bro? What's going on? What is happening? Are my eyes just like waking up from like understanding power scale just a little bit better? Is it that? Because ain't no way. This has to be, when they travel through time, it was probably an alternate timeline. It had to be. Them going back in time probably opened up a new timeline. Something happened where Naruto has better chakra control. In this timeline, something had to happen, because ain't no way, bro. This is what is this?
Obliterator, like Kirin hits him, it doesn't kill him. Then double Rasengan hits him, and he's just gone. Like no karma, nothing. He's out of there, dead.
Yeah.
And then Urashiki even implies, right, when he's trying to evolve, right? That's what Otsutsuki do. They try to evolve through like obtaining chakra and chakra fruits. He even implies that the amount of chakra he took from Sasuke, which was enough to like put Sasuke out of commission for a whole arc, bring him back down to part 1 level. He implies that that's not enough, and that's why he eats his blue Rinnegan to evolve.
What the fuck? My boy got like 3 different Rennegans. He got a Byakugan. He got a Shorin Rinnegan, and then he got a blue Rinnegan, and then he has a golden Rinnegan. What arc?
Yeah. So you have Shinki and Boruto, they're stronger than Gaara and nerf Sasuke. Then you have Naruto from part 1 and Boruto working together to beat Urashiki. Now, something that makes this crazy, though, is that I've heard some people say that in this time travel arc that this Naruto is stronger than normal or something. So it might be some alternate timeline Naruto, which is what...
I said the exact same thing. It had to be, because ain't no way, bro. It can't be the same exact Naruto. It cannot be. It could never be. That's
so
crazy.
Strong, which would make Boruto stomp pretty objectively. However, if we do say that they are like somewhat relative, you can say they combined their Rasengans and they use a perfect combination attack, which it was implied they were doing. To use a perfect combination attack, you kind of have to have matching chakra, which is implied with Naruto and Sasuke in the war when they're using the
Rasen Shuriken,
like
Amaterasu.
Yeah, Amaterasu, Inferno, Rasen Shuriken, Tempest, Ultra Style, whatever.
Sasuke literally just says he's matching Naruto's chakra levels.
Yeah, whatever Minato named that technique, I don't know. But regardless, so if you imply that, then Boruto matched his chakra level, and then obviously Boruto just gets stronger as time goes on. The other thing, too, is that even while somewhat off guard and not trying to mess with Naruto, and Naruto's in his one-tailed cloak and going kind of feral, Boruto's actually able to react to his slashes. Now, while Naruto's able to cut him, you know, base Boruto is still actually reacting to these slashes, so it implies there's some level of relativity that may justify the Rasengan clashing with Naruto's. Another thing that makes Boruto combining his Rasengan with one-tailed Naruto so convincing as well is that, as we know, Boruto does not with them, and he has abnormally powerful Rasengans because they're almost like his own weird version of Rasen Shuriken instead, which is, so...
He combines the chakra. Naruto does the same thing, except they just don't call it the high compression Rasengan. So Naruto gets, like, wind release on top of his Rasengan. But then he takes it a step further to make a new jutsu. That's the Rasen Shuriken. Boruto just doesn't take that last step, and he just keeps the high compression Rasengan.
Yeah. So, we obviously know in the manga that while getting goaded by Code into doing it, Boruto is able to use basically over 80% of his downloaded Momoshiki data as a karma power-up.
Nigga, Boruto out here, this nigga is a PlayStation 2 and Otsutsuki's are memory cards. That's what they are, bro. That's what they are, bro. They're fucking memory cards and Boruto is a freaking PlayStation 2, bro.
At will and activate his Byakugan. I'm just gonna be straight up honest with you guys. There's just no way that Naruto at all can take this Boruto. If Boruto is at all using this karma, and this karma is at all even like a decent or somewhat percentage of the real Momoshiki, even the base one, it just doesn't make sense for Naruto to stand a chance, unless for some reason you think that the time skip or the time travel arc of Naruto is how strong you'd be, like an actual canon or something. So it just doesn't really make a lot of sense for Naruto to even compete. Even in the original, as we said, you know, Boruto's already kind of reacting to one-tails, let alone this karma mark. Now, something else that also, even without this, you know, say, oh, well, that's just a BS, you know, Karma, Otsutsuki, you know, Gary Stu power-up. Even then, Team 7 does fight Boro. Alright, and Boro, he's no joke. Like,
Kara Inners are supposed to be like these Otsutsuki level powered-up beings.
Yes, and one thing about Boro specifically is that there's a guidebook that says, you know, Code thought that he and Boro were greater than Delta, and that they might need to handle Naruto if Delta couldn't. Now, you could just say that this is because Boro has, you know, regeneration and, like, virus hacks or some weird things. However, it just kind of goes to show that Boro, even at all being relevant in a fight that Delta couldn't handle, is pretty astronomical of a statement. So, if someone was just able to beat Delta, and Boro was just an ant in comparison, and was just infinitesimally weaker, and he couldn't even, like, perceive the fighter who beat Delta, it's pretty weird to say that, yeah, he'll just deal with it when you can't. So, Team 7 beating Boro, who's like this Otsutsuki, you know, created strange inner of Kara, it's really just above anything Part 1 Naruto has ever dreamed of, unfortunately. But
yeah, if you want to take it like a step further, Kawaki says that in some ways, Boro's even worse than Jigen, so...
yeah, and Team 7 deals with them. Now, obviously, you know, Boruto doesn't solo Boro or whatever, but he's still relevant in the fight. And I believe when Boro is rampaging, he actually hits a few of the team members, and they actually survive hits from him.
Yeah, they get knocked out, and they're all out of chakra.
Yeah, which, once again, even them surviving a hit from him is just more insane.
And Sarada's just blatantly faster than him. Like, when Sarada's got her...
She got her 3 tomo in the show, so why did it not translate to the anime? That doesn't make sense. Like, they just took the 3 tomo out. Like, that didn't make sense to me.
Sharingan on. In the anime, it's 2 tomo, manga 3. Doesn't matter. She's just saying Boro's not that fast compared to her. Like, she can get out of the way of all of his hits. And Boro only ever hits Sarada whenever Sarada's acting weak in order for the plan to go through. And then obviously she pulls out Chidori and he just gets destroyed.
Yeah.
So what are some pro Naruto Part 1 arguments? Are there any pro Naruto arguments at this point? Because I feel like after the time skip or the time travel arc, there just isn't any. There's just no way.
It's just a, like, Boruto spanking, really.
Yeah, and, you know, not to disrespect...
That's usually how it goes. Like, the newer generation is going to be better than the old. That's just how it works. Especially when the enemies are stronger. That's just how it is, bro. Like, the new generation is going to fight tougher opponents, stronger opponents. That's just how it is. Boruto's fighting stronger people, bro. At the same age Naruto's fighting. So it's like, by the time he gets to, like, 15, 16... yeah, Boruto will be stronger. He's already stronger than Naruto, but, like, you know what I'm saying?
Like Naruto, you know, Part 1. I like Naruto Part 1 more than Boruto, for what it's worth. You know, and back in the day, we did say Naruto wins based on the information we had, but due to these updates, there's just absolutely no way he can take on a Notsutsuki programmed Boruto. And maybe at best, he might be able to fight base Boruto. However, base Boruto, even taking in a hit from amped Boro, is just beyond anything Part 1. Hey, if you can point out anything Part 1 Naruto has ever done that's that level, go ahead. And the only thing you're going to be able to point out is literally Boruto, like, filler, where he's back in time with Boruto, and Boruto and him are both fighting Urashiki. And for some reason, Naruto with one tail is stronger than Jiraiya and base Sasuke, despite the fact that Jiraiya could take hits from 4-tailed Naruto, let alone 1-tailed Naruto. And like Six said, this Naruto, even in the past, may have been amped by Boruto saying, you know, dad or whatever, which let him create this Rasengan over his head without any hands, which he's never done anywhere else in Part 1. Even when he was fighting Sasuke, he still used one hand to create his Vermilion Rasengan. Wasn't nearly as big or powerful, but Boruto reaching out to him does. So he might have been amped as well.
Jiraiya's Rasengan, like, bruises Urashiki's, like, cloak. But then the combination of these two erases him.
So it had to be because that Naruto in this alternate timeline is stronger, plus him being amped by Boruto. It had to be because of that. It had to be.
It's just clear. It's just such weird scaling to take the arc as, like, complete canon to the original material.
Right. It creates kind of a loop, and, you know, everyone in the community has talked about, man, this arc cannot be canon. It's so weird.
So
like,
weird.
It just has so many connotations. Either they went to a different timeline, or it just can't be canon. It's so weird. But even then, it doesn't make a lot of sense because we've seen Orochimaru, while weaker than he was in Part 1, fight four-tailed Naruto. And Orochimaru in Part 1, while stronger, is apparently relative to Jiraiya, like base Jiraiya, who can also fight four-tailed Naruto and survive. So one-tailed Naruto being godly stronger than Urashiki and Jiraiya just doesn't really make a lot of sense. Unless Urashiki is just suppressed and Jiraiya is as well, or Urashiki's poisoned and weakened. But anyways, you guys get the idea. I don't want to rant about why Boruto beats Naruto. It kind of gives me a sick taste in my stomach. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like and subscribe if you did. Also, be sure to check out Six's channel. Thank you very much for coming on, and I hope you guys learned something. And other than that, till next time.
Bro, this whole shit was super fucking confusing. Let me know what you guys think down below. I found this to be extremely weird as hell because I was confused for some of it, like, because some of the stuff they didn't even add up. They use data books, they use a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not gonna talk tomorrow. This video is like 30 minutes long anyways, but your boy, so we're out of here, y'all. Peace.